Okay, if you scroll down, you have description. You can give the description also. Like, see, while deploying this API call, you might have some thoughts. Okay, that you want to keep it for further. I mean, for further references. When you see that description, you will get to know what kind of API I have created and why, where, and all these APIs are used. That data can be given as description. I mean, you can describe the API what you are using there. So in future references, it will not be confused. So the developer changes or the source, I mean the support team changes. So if they see this description, they'll get an idea as in what is this API. Okay. So what is this base API path is, you are giving the a URL path, okay, for each environment, that API component wherever you are deploying that, there you are giving a unique path, okay, URL path. Okay, under advanced settings, you have dynamic property headers where you can add a header. You can give any names of to that header, and that I mean, it contains only all alphanumeric characters and special characters also. Okay, you can give, and you can create a dynamic document property. I think I have explained this in the sixth session or seventh second about this dynamic document property. You are setting a property for the document which are passing through that. There you will have headers and all. So that also can be called here in this general API service. Okay. And next, when it comes to REST.
Chetra, I mean, like last yesterday you told like JSON document catch will be sending screenshot.
Yeah, I couldn't find that. Yeah, I couldn't find that JSON document. Yeah, I tried to find it in Google.
Okay.
But no, I didn't find it anywhere. I'll try and find again. Okay.
And could you please have this also to this to Chetra? I mean,
which one?
This API service configuration.
I mean, that is okay. You want the screenshot of that, how it is configured? Okay, yeah. Fine. I mean, that is nothing, Shakti. So you can name it anything you want. The title, however, client is describing you that API should work. That way, you are what to say. You are describing that, configuring that API. Okay. There is nothing in that. It differs from process to process. Okay, each process, I mean, all the process will not have the same configurations. Okay. You should develop it. However, see, some use REST calls to make, some use SOAP calls, where though SOAP is very old, but still we use it for some security reasons. Okay, because than REST, SOAP has more strong reasons. So like that, client customization should be done for these APIs. I'll send you send you a picture for better understanding. Okay. But then that will not help you, because you should configure your APIs according to the process which you are building. Okay. However, the process you are building, that is required. That way you should create these APIs.
So it will be completely based on client requirements, input.
Yeah, it will. Yeah, client requirements. See, if client is asking you to, I mean, sometimes they ask you to get the data from somewhere else. So that time you create some other calls like SOAP calls, be it REST calls or OData, something might be. Okay, for that thing you might have different type of calls. See, though you are deploying these APIs, you have like, and you can create like a number of APIs for, I mean, one API can make a number of calls. Okay, so however you want that, I mean, for that process, see, it is not same for all processes again. Okay, though you are deploying this API, you can use this API for any other process wherever required, but still each process differs. Okay, the API calls differs. You should configure that accordingly. However, it is required in the process. Okay. When you are building the process, let's say a client has given you a file transfer process only. When you are building that, you should see, I mean, client will not tell you like particularly use this or particularly use that. You should try and see, like, if I use this type of API, the runtime will be less. If I use this type of API, the productivity will be more. Like that, you should try out and build the APIs.
Okay.
Okay. Once you build the API, if that is working super fine, if that is suitable for the next process which you are creating, then you can call the same API there also. because it is already deployed, so you can call that API. Okay, see, you have an option there, import an endpoint, right, on the right side. So yeah, there if you click on that, you can import. If you have created a new APIs already before, if the same API is required in this service also, you can just import an endpoint.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Now moving on to REST. Okay, what do you know about REST, Shakti? I mean, have you ever heard or worked on REST APIs?
Not yet. No.
Okay. See, REST is like I mean, the full form of REST is like representational state transfer. Okay.
Okay.
It is an style where it provides standards between the web, I mean, the internet and the system. Okay, and your computer system. It is like building the connection between the web or the internet and the computer.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
see, when you are building the REST API, it is easy for the systems to communicate with each other, be it from the internet, like fetching data from the internet or sending data from your system to the internet. Okay, let's say for example, you are searching something on Google.
Okay.
Okay, you are typing something and sending the request to Google. Okay,
Okay.
that thing, what it is doing is it is communicating.
Okay.
Whatever you see, now you typed REST API, okay, REST only you have typed,
Okay.
okay, that is communicating with the web.
Okay.
There is so much data inside the internet, right?
Yeah.
So it is sending the request to the uh, Google. Okay, as in Shakti is asking about the REST API. So what that is doing as a response is it is showing you all the data present in the internet. Okay. Likewise, how you are using it in organization is that you have a database or a server. Okay. You are sending the request to the database. Okay. As a response, you are getting the output whatever you are requesting. Okay, it is basically communication between the web and the computer system. Okay, uh, and yeah, why do we use, I mean, REST apps is like it is very suitable for the lightweight apps. Like it has limited bandwidth. See, it will not wait for, like, if you are sending the request today and you are not getting the response tomorrow. Okay, it's like within of the milliseconds or seconds or a fraction of second. Okay, so it has limited bandwidth and resources in REST API. Okay, it is more suitable for lightweighted apps, in the sense it is more suitable for processes which requires less runtime. Okay, you are asking for a very low amount of data because the bandwidth is limited in this REST APIs. In such cases, you use this REST call. Okay, and also this REST API is stateless. What the stateless means? It does not store the information, okay, from previous API calls. Let's say, for example, you have asked for a data, a name. Okay, what is the name of the student yesterday? Okay, that will not be saved in REST calls. Okay, every time it is new, it is called stateless. Okay, REST is called stateless. What that stateless meaning, I'm giving you just an example. It will not store the data of the previous calls made, though the same REST is making another call. The previous calls which it had made, that will not be stored. Okay, caching and all is there in REST. Okay, that is different topic. I'll come to that topic later on. I mean, after next sessions, data caching in Boomi. That time I'll tell you how this REST is caching the data and all. But this REST will not store the information of the previous calls made. Okay, it is like request and response and erase the data. Whatever it wants the input, that will be sent as a request and gets the response, and that data is gone. Okay, that data will be moved forward. It will not be storing any. It will not be retaining any information. Okay. Like from the client to the server or server to the client, whatever the calls has made, it is not retaining the information. And one more thing is it has no asynchronous support. Okay, see, in Boomi, synchronous support is like it is dependent on the other services. Okay, asynchronous, it is not dependent. Okay, like that, REST will not provide asynchronous support. I mean, it is not dependent on any other call or any other process to run. Okay, it is independent. REST API calls are always independent. Okay, and REST only uses HTTP and HTTPS to communicate. Okay, it is using protocols like HTTP and only HTTPS protocols to communicate in the network. I mean, from the client to the server. Okay, and yeah, it has a a uniform interface. What is uniform interface doing is it implements everything, whatever the call it is making, it is in the same way. Okay, it is not changing, like let's say we have some network downtime or something like that, so it is not changing the route. It is always the same way. Okay, and yeah, one more thing is it is REST is like it is an architecture. Okay, you are building the system like that. It is not like protocols like HTTP, FTP, SFTP. It is not like that. It is not. It is different from the protocols. Okay, and yeah, see, if you are using a REST call or any REST request is made, see, the organization is not taking charge of that. Okay, if the some REST calls fail, if there is some error in the REST calls, so the organization will not take charge of that, because that is dependent on the architecture how we have built that. Okay, either you can modify that, or if that is like temporary connectivity issue and all, you can let it go. If not, you have to change the architecture. Okay, and yeah, REST also improves the scalability, like by server components will be there, right? That will be simplified in this REST calls to improve the scalability. Okay, yeah, so why do we use API? See, you can ask doubt, like we have already web services connector, right? There only we can configure so many API calls and all. So you might get this doubt. Why we use this API service? I mean, the REST service components. I mean, the both SOAP or REST, it is called as API service component, right? Why do we use that? Is that it is a reusable component, because you can deploy either the SOAP or the REST or the OData, whichever you want. You can deploy it in the atom. Okay, in that atom you can use it anywhere. I mean, in any other process you are building, that same API can be imported. Okay, so in general tab I have showed you, right? It has published metadata information and all, the version number, everything. So you can get use that version numbers or the metadata which you have entered there and search the API and use it in any other process. So for web services connector, it is not like that. Okay. And yeah, open that REST thing. Okay, see, first open, yeah, when you're trying, I mean, when you click on help me, click on help me create an endpoint. Yeah, see here, when you're importing, I mean, when you're importing an endpoint, this is for REST. Okay, like that same way you can do it for SOAP. I'll show it to you later. See, when you're importing an endpoint, you are choosing the method. Like there are 5 methods. Create new processes. Like if you click on create new process, it is creating a new process. Okay, there you have to write the queries or HTTP protocols, whatever you want, you can configure that. What the second option is import from an external service file. Okay, you have the service file outside and you are importing the whatever API actions or API requests are in that. However, that API is called from that external source file. You are importing the REST call. Okay, and import from external service URL is like it is from the directly from the internet. Okay, using that URL you are calling like GitHub URL, whatever it is, from there you are importing that. Okay, use an existing process is like you have already built a REST API call. Okay, for some other process you might have built. The same REST API call is required here. You feel that, okay, that might work with some edits or something. That time you use this existing process. Okay, you are importing the same REST call which you have created before and stored it in this atom. I mean, deployed in this atom. Okay, you cannot take it from some other atom. If you are doing it in dev, then dev only. If you are doing it, if you want, you can either see, let's say for example, you have deployed a REST API call in this dev atom, okay, and you are building this in process in SIT or UAT atom, okay, some other atom, okay. At that time you can't access that dev so REST atom here, okay. At that time what you want to do is you have to go to the dev atom only and again deploy that REST API to different environment, okay. From there only you can do that deployment. From there only you can say deploy to different environment and then deploy it in whichever atom you want to import, okay. There you are deploying and then you can use it as existing process, okay. When you click on this existing process, the existing process, whatever the REST calls is there, you can use it in this REST call, okay. Import processes from an environment is that in the same atom different environments is there, right there. From there you are importing, okay. These many options are there in the REST and so both importing and endpoint.
Could you please come again with an existing process?
Yeah, see what this existing process is. See, if you have let's say for example in dev atom you have built a process to transfer a file, okay. There you are sending a REST API call to Salesforce, for example, okay. The REST API call is already built there. You have configured that. However, that process is required. For that process, according to that process, you have built a REST API call. Okay. Now, the same REST API call is required in this process also. You feel that, okay? You feel, okay, why creating again a new process and all? So, let me import the same existing process which I have used in other atom. I want to use it in this process. Okay, that time you are use an existing process. It is already existing in the atom which you are using. The REST call is already built and configured. The same call you are pulling it here. Okay, got it? Hello?
Yeah, Chitra, got it, Chitra.
Yeah. Okay, that is what you are doing. And yeah, let's go with create new process only. Yeah, see which process you want to create. You are giving a name to that process and a location where you want that process to be stored, okay, that you are giving it here, and add to REST or SOAP or OData. So it is asking you which you want to create. Now say REST, okay. Now we are seeing it as a REST now. Now say REST. Give some name to that. It is mandate. Okay, REST API. Okay. Yeah. So you are giving the importing the endpoint like this, okay. What it is doing, what the input is taken. So what input should be given, like either it is single data or single JSON object or from that call what input you are expecting, okay. So when you are making a request for, let's say for example, you are making a request to Salesforce only, from there what I am expecting, either it is single data or single line data or single JSON object, multiple JSON, like that you can choose what data you are retrieving from the Salesforce or any other connector, okay. Through this REST API call, what input type should be given, and output also what it should be sent to the further shape, that output will be chosen. Now choose something else, whatever you want, single data only or symbol JSON object, whatever you want. Yeah, see object output type, yeah, the same output should be sent like that. So you should single, yeah. So yeah, result content type is you are either entering a value or you are leaving it text or a plain, okay. You should choose that. You have many options and then open that text or plain. Yeah, see it is sending the data. See the output type what you have got, the single data. It is doing modifications here, either it is HTML, XML, binary, artifact, XML, JSON, how you want the data to be sent. That way you are choosing the option. Okay. And in HTTP method, the protocol method you are using, you are getting the information from something else, so you are adding there. And resource path is like path to the REST API call, what you are making, that path should be entered there. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, that will be given there. And yeah, that is what I mean, the path you are giving where you want to store the output, I mean the response what you are getting. Oh, that will
Chaitanya,
be
what's the purpose of this video?
which one?
This and
You
that.
can give the any value there. You can enter the value, content type, or like let's say for example there you don't want text or plain or XML or JSON or something like that. You can give a value to that document what you are passing, the response, like say naming the response what you are getting. It is just like that.
Okay.
Okay, you can give any value there. And yeah, say finish. Okay, see the path to rest, you haven't anything given, so it is taken as WS rest only, like that. This is the REST API call. Now when you save this and deploy, save and deploy, you have option, you have save, and then you can do some other options here, or you can add one more endpoint also. Okay, you can add n number of endpoints to single process. Okay, when you are save and you are just letting, you are saving this REST API call and staying on the same page. Save and deploy is like you are saving and deploying it to the atom which you are working on right now. So in future references, whenever you are building another process, you are saying like choose from existing source. That time you are choosing the same API call. Okay, you need not to build another endpoint. Okay, this is about SOAP, I mean sorry, REST. Okay, REST. Yeah. And yeah, next let's come to this SOAP. Okay. See, like SOAP is like a very old protocol built. Okay, it is like the very first when they started API management. Not only in Boomi, like generally we use SOAP and REST in other things also. Like in web methods, I have worked on web methods also. There also we use this SOAP and REST calls. So SOAP was built before the REST. It is like old integration. Okay, the SOAP APIs. Okay. Yeah, it is an like old version design model. It has old version design model. You might get a doubt now, though it is old version then REST, why do we use SOAP still? Okay, we can directly shift. Okay, first let me tell you what is SOAP. So SOAP is like the full form of that SOAP is like simple object access protocol. Okay, simple object access protocol. And yeah, this is like very old web service design model. Before REST also SOAP only was there. Okay, like SOAP is very lightweight and it is only used for XML based protocols. Okay, like REST we use it for HTTP and HTTPS protocols. For SOAP we use XML based protocol. Okay, it is used for exchanging the information between the distributed environment, whatever environments inside the environment you are making calls. SOAP is like outside the organization also. Sorry, REST is like you can use the HTTP calls and make connections outside the organization also. Yeah, but SOAP is like inside the distributed environment, whatever you're choosing the environment, inside that environment. Okay. Yeah. So how this SOAP works is like it is using XML information, like the XML file what I showed you yesterday, that it is using as the message format. Okay, to send the request and receive the response, it is using XML information set. Okay, and yeah, SOAP is like application layer protocol. It is used in the application layer protocol. You have the OSI model, right? The layers of OSI model and all. In that you are using SOAP in the application layer protocol. Okay. Yeah, it also relies on HTTP. It relies on the HTTP in the application layer. Okay, and yeah, instead of soap, we also some organizations use this SMTP. So it is like mail. Okay, simple
Mm.
mail transfer protocol. Okay, few of the organizations use because they are like similar to communicate the SOAP and the SMTP. Okay, and SOAP is like it is a see REST is a architecture. Okay, you are building the architecture. SOAP is like a platform. Okay, and you need there is no particular language to build this SOAP. You can build it in either ways. Okay,
Okay.
REST is the architecture. Remember this always. REST is the architecture, and SOAP is a platform. Okay, and yeah, see, one doubt is that see, REST is like very advanced. Okay, it is architecture. You can modify or build a new architecture inside the REST API. But SOAP is like very old web design model. Okay, but still, why this SOAP is in picture even now is that it has like a very strict rules for prototyping. Okay, either it sending data or receiving data or encrypting or decrypting for any I mean any of that matter. SOAP is like it is where it has very strict rules. That is why still many organizations choose SOAP, okay, over REST, because it has like strict rules, and for communication services it is like very confidential, and the data breaches are very less when you are making SOAP calls. Okay, to give an example, like you are working on premise, okay, the client location. Okay, from there the HR or somebody they want to from India, they want to access your they want to access your payroll data or something like that. Okay, that time they are making SOAP calls because it has very secure and reliable connection between on premise and the India.
Okay.
Okay, that is why SOAP is still in use. Okay, the to I mean to put it in technical word, that transactional reliability is like high to the SOAP. That is why it is the main reason we are using SOAP. Okay, we can use SOAP for both cloud and external connections. Okay, but what the thing is, you have to do more configurations for that. Okay, the maintenance is also high for this SOAP when you are making external connections. Okay, and yeah, as it's told, it is also more strict and rigid, but it is very secure for like financial transactions. SOAP is the best thing to use. Okay, and yeah, in SOAP you have like you can send request in like three ways. One is WSDL and web service provider, and consumer or requester provider. Okay, have you heard of WSDL, Shakti?
No, sir.
WSDL. WSDL file.
No, sir.
Okay, I'll tell you what is that. I mean, see, WSDL file is like in integrations, be it Boomi, MuleSoft, or web methods or software AG. Okay,
Okay.
this WSDL is like a file which stores the information of, I mean, the request and response what you're sending. It is storing the information of that request and response inside a file. Okay, that is called WSDL file. Okay, uh, and what this WSDL file is, it will store the information and give it to you whenever you are wanting that. It is like web services description language. Okay,
Okay.
WSDL full form is like web services description language, and it has like it supports few message types also, and it can be sent to the service provider, and you can get the responses back. Okay, that is why this WSDL file. So makes a WSDL files call also. And one more is web service provider. So what in this web service provider, what is doing is it is sending a valid request to the provider, whoever the service provider is there. So it is like an envelope form. Okay, like you send a post letter, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That like SOAP envelopes will be there. SOAP envelope, it is sending a request to the whoever the service, I mean, wherever you want the data to be received, for that you are sending it as a envelope. And it is, I mean, you have an option to give that header also. I told you, like in beginning, dynamic property header is there. So like that, for the soap envelope also you can give a header. Okay, and body containing all the XML details, what their request you are sending related to that XML details you are sending. It is like a post man thing. Okay, you are sending the request through an envelope, soap envelope, and receiving the response to the soap envelope only. Okay, and what is this consumer or requester is that the service provider only sends a response back to the customer. Okay, say for example, you are the consumer. Okay, you want some data which is stored in my database. So that time I will be the web service provider. Got it?
Okay.
You are the consumer and you want, let's say for example, shopkeeper and you only. Okay, that time shopkeeper is selling something. Okay, so he will be the web service provider, and you are wanting to buy something from that shop. So you are requiring the, you need the data. Okay, so you are the consumer or the requester, you can call it anyways. Okay, you are the consumer or requester. When you're going to shop and buying something, the shopkeeper will be web service provider, and the and you will be the consumer. Okay, you can either send it through three ways. Okay, you can send it through WSDL form or request form, I mean the envelope form, and then receive the response from the web service provider. Like you want a milk packet, for example, you are going to the shop. So this is all the soap calls I am talking about. You're going to the shop and asking for a milk packet, for example. So you are the consumer asking for some data with the web service provider, who is the shopkeeper. Okay, he is giving you back something that is called as response from the web service provider. Okay, got it, Shakti?
Yeah, Kshetra.
Okay, yeah, this is how the SOAP calls work. It works between the consumer and the web service provider. Okay, see, in REST calls, what you are doing is you are directly accessing the client there. Okay, the database there. But in SOAP, you are accessing the web service provider there. So he will be sending you the response back. And yeah, go to the SOAP tab. Yeah, import an endpoint. Yeah, they are creating new process. Okay, so give a process name, SOAP API. Yeah, expected input type. So yeah, what is this request profile is? I have told you talked about profiles, like creating a profile in the component, I mean while building a process, right? So there you are choosing the profile from where you want that input. Okay, to where that input should be given. And the same way you can select, you can choose any profile. If you, I mean, I think we haven't created any profiles, so you will not have profiles there. So if there is any profile created inside the environment, that XML object will be sent there. Okay, the response output type is like where the how what type of output it is expected, either the single XML object, the same way multiple XML objects. See, so SOAP provides only XML documents support. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, say finish. Choose any one profile if you have, see, say choose. No, that is for creating a profile again. Okay, say shipping order XML only there. Choose that. Or just to show you. Yeah, in response output type, say a single XML object. Give one operation. Yeah, choose that. For that also choose the same profile.
One more profile. Input and
Okay.
output should be same.
No, that is like, see, you are sending the request. How you are sending the request, that will be the output from your end. Okay,
Okay.
what you are expecting, how that, I mean, if the web service provider is giving multiple XML object, then you have to select the multiple XML object there.
Okay.
Okay, it is like that. And response profile, choose the same profile. Okay, come to this advanced settings. Okay. Oh, let me. I mean, what is this WSDL namespace? Web services. WSDL. Sorry. WSDL is web services description language. So, just a minute. So yeah, WSDL namespace. You are giving a unique name to that namespace. Whatever you are giving it here. I mean, the namespace, whatever you are giving it here, it is applied as the prefix for whatever objects passing through this, the responses, whatever you are getting through this SOAP API, it will be added as a prefix to that WSDL names. Okay, that can be given there. Namespace you can give, and yeah, schema is like database, not database exactly, but tables. Okay,
Okay.
in integrations we use this schema.
Okay.
Okay,
Schema is like
here you can
users, right?
select either multi. Sorry.
Schema is like users, right?
Yeah, I mean the it is like table. Okay, in this you are fetching data from that. It is table like,
Okay.
how to tell you. Mm. So you're storing the data, like, not only username will be there, the ID, the order ID, or the any information of related to that, the whole data. It is called a schema.
Okay.
Okay, here you can either choose single or multi schema. So when you choose single, it is embedded inside the WSDL document, whatever you are selecting.
Okay.
You're giving creating. It's if you use single schema, then that will be embedded inside that WSDL document only, or WSDL document only. If you are selecting multi schema, what it is doing is, for each schema file, like for each user or each user data, the file is generated, right? For each thing, one XML namespace will be given. Okay,
Okay.
those schema files will be linked from one WSDL to another WSDL. I mean, inside the WSDL, from one schema file to another schema file, they will be linked. At that time, you want to use. Sorry, just a minute, Shakti.
Okay.
Okay, that time you that time you are using this multi schema. However, you want to, if there is only single user or not, you can use single. If there are like many schema tables, then you can use multi. So all are linked inside a WSDL document.
Okay.
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 Yeah, WSDL service name is like the port number. For example, it is like the port number.
Okay.
Okay, you can give there. Sorry, whatever you want, the binding elements or inside the WSDL, you can give a service name for that. Okay, it is not like recommended or necessary. So I mean, you can either give it, or it is not I mean, not mandate. Okay, the service name. And yeah, SOAP versions. Okay, when you are choosing SOAP version 1.1, the WSDL will be the WSDL will be compatible. Whatever the WSDL you are creating, that will be only compatible with SOAP v 1.1. Okay,
Okay.
this is like the default one. Okay, when you are selecting 1.2, if you are getting the response with SOAP v 1.1, then it will not accept. It will accept, I mean, it is compatible only with SOAP v 1.2. Like that, you can choose either. If you're choosing both 1.1 and 1.2, it is accepting both the responses.
Okay.
Responses. Okay. Yeah. In operations, it is like the Dell Boomi specific operation wrapper elements will be given, so that you can omit operation wrappers or soap envelope pass through. You can choose the operations. Okay, in soap envelope pass through, what it is doing is the entire soap request is passing into a single process. Okay,
Okay.
it's not specified. If you are not specifying anything inside that process which this soap request is passing, then nothing will happen. If there is something happening inside that process, whole process will be completed, and the output of that process we are getting here as a input for this soap call.
Okay.
Okay, and scroll down. Yeah, upload custom WSDL is like if you are having your own WSDL file, the web services development file, that you can upload it. Okay, and make the soap calls according to that.
Okay.
Okay, and yeah, after choosing everything, so save and deploy is there. You can deploy the soap API call, and you can use it anywhere. I mean, inside this atom, anywhere to the any process you want to make the same soap API call. Then you are using the thing soap API call thing. Okay, when you are saving and deploying it.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Next is OData. Okay, what is OData is like? It is open data. Okay, open data, like it has a standardized protocol. I mean, for creating consuming the data, whatever it is passing through the APIs to creating and consuming that data, you are using this OData option. Mostly we will use only the sorry, SOAP and the REST calls. We will not use this OData. Okay, yeah, like in OData protocol, you can access, I mean, provide many providers are there, like Microsoft Windows, Azure, Stacks, Overflow, and like that. You have many you providers for that. Okay, you can connect to any of the uh, OData thing. Okay, and yeah, like the same way how you created the SOAP API call, the same way you can create a entity in OData. Okay, yeah, in OData you have two options. One is get entities, and another option is get entity by key. Okay, key is like encrypted one. You are getting only the entity when you have the decryption key for that. If not, only get as, yeah, create a new process. Yeah, see, it is like the open data. You have two options. Entity name you are giving, and two options are there. You only are getting entities, or you are getting entity by key. Inside the process, you if you have given the decryption key, then it will be decrypted, and the output will be passed through that process. Okay,
Okay.
and yeah, the we are not using this O data much because it gets like entire document. We use it very less. Okay, to
Okay.
configure only API services, open data, whatever we want to access, only then we are using this whole data. Mostly in all the service, I mean, the processes which I have built, we have used only SOAP and REST.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that is about OData. Shakti, do you have any more doubts?
No, Shweta.
Okay, yeah, this again, save and deploy option is there. You can save and deploy. Okay, configure something and say, let's deploy and see this. Okay, so save and deploy. Okay, you haven't given the published title and all. Metadata is not given for this OData thing. Oh yeah, here you can see the deployed APIs. You have configured all the three inside that API service. You have configured OData API, REST API, SCOPE API. All you have configured. Okay, you have deployed all the API service to this APIs in this Boomi.
Okay.
Okay, we have said. I mean, we did this three to check. We did this three also, right?
Yeah.
So all these inside that one API, you have configured all these three and deployed.
Oh,
Okay, now package and deploy. See, select the environment to test or dev. Test. Always when you're practicing anything, so that should not disturb your the prod environment. You should select test either or dev atom. Okay. Yeah. Give any one version. Okay. The API is deployed. So yeah, click OK. Here you can see the details of that APIs. Okay.
okay.
Which environment it is given, what is the version, what is the software revision you have done. All these things will be there in API management tab. You can see this deployed APIs. Yesterday I showed you, right, the API management tab in under services. You have,
Okay.
yeah, you can come
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you can see,
The dashboard thing.
yeah, the dashboard thing.
Yes.
There you can see the, now delete this API which you have deployed. See, from there only, if you are deployed in this environment, from there only you can change deploy to another environment also and edit deployment. Scroll down, you don't have delete option here.
Yeah.
Sorry, I mean, you should have delete option there in the actions.
So deployment is not on a gateway.
I mean, that is for gateways. You haven't selected any security gateway. That is different. But you should have okay, cancel this. Scroll down. You don't have any other option there. I think you should have delete option, Shakti.
Okay.
Okay, come to this configure server tab.
Okay.
No, you don't. Sorry, you don't have. Yeah, under services. Scroll. Under services. No. Under services. Okay. Click on API management. Why the delete? Yeah. Send to the atom. Okay. Only edit option is there. You don't have delete option. Say view here in the left side. You have view. Okay. Close this one. I think you should have option to undeploy.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll try and find that. I mean, in my system it is showing.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'll try and find that and tell you how to undeploy this API. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it about SOAP, REST, and OData inside Dell Boomi. You have any doubts, Shakti?
I'm not sure. So basically,
Okay,
the restaurant soap will be using most of the time.
yeah, most of the time. We are using REST and SOAP only. OData is like very less.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Tomorrow morning, we will have assessment. Shakti will not have a session tomorrow morning. I'll be adding the same session which I have done today as tomorrow's class,
Okay.
and I'll send you the assessment
Yeah.
tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Okay. All this whole class information. I mean, sorry, questions. I'll prepare questionnaire for that and ask you. It will be around like 30 questions. Is that okay?
Yeah, fine, sir.
Yeah. Okay. I'll try to create that quiz and I'll send it to you tomorrow. So we'll not have any session tomorrow morning. If you, I mean, if you're free, can we have session tomorrow evening?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ping me the timings, like either it is 4 to 5 or 5 to 6.
Okay.
So yeah, if I am free in that time, I'll confirm you.
Okay.
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 Yeah. If not, we'll have a session on Tuesday morning only.
Okay, sir.
Okay. This is about the APIs. You have any doubt from yesterday's or today's class about APIs?
No, Chaitra. I think I have to
Okay.
go with this rest answer because I don't have any idea.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay. I mean, when you're working on, no, this is like the core level, the next level. So basic when you're starting with Dell Boomi, I mean, without the development, when you're starting as an admin or support.
Mhm.
So the first what I have explained, only that you will explore. Okay. Later on, when you try and work on this API calls,
Okay.
so at that time you will get to know how this response is made, how it is the response is subscribed at the other end, all that you will get to know.
Okay.
Okay, only when you start working, I mean exploring things inside Boomi, when you start working only, then you'll get a clear knowledge. Though I give you so much information or show you how to do it, but once you try and do, I mean try and do errors,
Hmm.
only then you learn.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay, Shakti.
Okay, Chaitra.